Erin Martz, and I'm here to talk a little bit about Sickle Cell Awareness Month. I'm here with Alicia Galat to talk a little bit about it. So, explain what is sickle cell.
So sickle cell is a blood disease that you're born with. It means that your red blood cells are supposed to be shaped like circles, and they're shaped like crescent moons.
Okay, and you were born with it? Okay.
Yes.
So what was that journey like for you?
It was really hard when I was little, because I wasn't allowed to do certain things that my friends could do. For instance, gym class. I wasn't allowed to run around or exert myself too much, and anytime I get a fever, I would have to go to the hospital and stay there for days, because a fever in a sickle cell patient can be the only cue that they have that you're having like something huge happening, like a stroke or something like that. So every time you have a fever, you have to go to the hospital. So it was really hard when I was younger, but as I got older, I kind of understood it more.
What emotions were running through your mind? I mean, you weren't an average kid that just could go play in gym class or go to the hospital when you have a fever. What was that like?
It kind of felt hopeless to me, because I would look at older people that I knew with sickle cell, and I would think, like, what is our end goal? Like, what does it look like to be living, I guess, a successful sickle cell life? Because it's so difficult to live with sickle cell, and it's a really debilitating disease. And doctors usually recommend that you don't go to college, or if you do, you go somewhere that has a good hematology hospital nearby. And I think when I was in probably 6th grade, I kind of was realizing, like, wait, what exactly is the life that I have to hope for? What do I want out of life? And I say that because 6th grade, I was in the hospital, I would say, for probably a month straight, which was the longest I'd ever been in the hospital. And when I got back to class, my classmate was like, "Oh, you still go to this school?" And he was just, joking, but it really hurt me, because I felt like I didn't really belong there. Like, it would make more sense if I was at the hospital, But there was always other people with sickle cell that we could come together and talk to each other. And I think by the time I was in 12th grade, I kind of had figured out, like, okay, this is kind of how I want to live my life. I want to, spread hope, because living a hopeless life, like, there's nothing, I can't think of anything worse than not being able to hope for tomorrow, So I educate people and post about it, because I think that awareness is always the first step in finding a cure to it.
Right. And how can people bring the awareness? How can they show it? How can they learn more about it? Is there a website you can go to?
Yeah, so BeTheMatch.com is about bone marrow transplants, actually, which is what I had. And my doctors were like, well, we could try a bone marrow transplant. And so my sisters got tested. They both got tested. We all went together as a Pham. And when my next doctor's appointment, they told me that my older sister was a match. So it was like they fast-tracked us. That summer we were down at the NIH, which is the National Institutes of Health in Maryland, and we were talking about bone marrow transplant, which is still in its experimental stages. So that's why it's not very common in people with sickle cell. And when I stayed down there for a few months, and then next semester I was back in school, and I was just so happy, like, I'm here sickle cell free, which is just something that I never even thought could happen. And so I think really hope is just the message that I would love to give everybody, is that there is always hope for tomorrow.
That's great. Your story is so powerful and so amazing. Thank you for sharing it with us today.
Thank you.